Happy Halloween and welcome to Everyday Photographers. I'm your host Chad Thompson, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to make a simple Halloween portrait edit. So this particular photograph here is actually just a simple 2 layers, and I'm going to teach you exactly how to do something very similar to this. So if you want to look here, this is actually the original portrait, and with a couple tweaks, we have this kind of cool little Halloween photograph that could be great for, sending to friends. It could be used for profile pictures on social media websites and so forth and so on. So let's go ahead and dive right into this. So the first thing you want to do is select your magnifying tool here and zoom as far into the eyes as you can without kind of distorting the pixels. So we got this good look here so we can see the eyes. All we're going to do is make sure our background layer is selected so that we can create a new layer on top of that. I'm going to name this layer Demon Eyes. So now what we want to do is grab our lasso tool and get a good selection around the inside of the eyelids. So basically what you want to do here is make sure that you're getting a good, decent selection of the eyes in here without, getting too far onto the eyelids and not showing too much of the eyeball itself. Basically, you want this whole section of the eyeball to be black. That's essentially all it is. It's a very simple process. And for the sake of time, I'm doing this a little bit faster than I normally would. You want to be as accurate as possible for your own photographs, but just for the sake of learning, let's just go ahead and get right through this. Okay, so now that we have both of our eyeballs selected here, what we want to do is grab our brush, make sure it's set to black, and just go ahead and fill in these areas. Let me turn my opacity up a little bit. Okay. So once we get our eyeballs blacked out, you can hit Command D on a Mac or Control D on a PC. And what that'll do is kind of get rid of that selection so you have the eyes here. Now it's already looking good, but the problem is it looks a little fake because you see these really hard selections and you can tell this was something that was just added on. So for a little bit of an added effect to make it look a little bit better, go to your blur settings and go to Gaussian blur, however you want to say that. And just kind of tweak around with this until you get a setting that looks good for you. For my particular image and selection, it's around a 6 to a 6.5. And what that does, you can see that it kind of blurs around the edges here. And it makes it look a little bit more believable. So now we're pretty much done, but I like to add one more step. I like to call this layer my texture layer. So all I've done is created a brand new layer. I'm going to grab another brush. And I actually have one of these texture brushes, which I like a whole lot. So what we're going to do is just apply a few textures across the image really quickly. And then I'm going to switch my colors here to a darker gray color to kind of add on to that. Now what we're going to do is just kind of pull this opacity down. So you can see that it's adding texture into my clothing, kind of into the background. But on the face, it's a little, I don't know. I mean, it could look good. It could be a little bit of charring or some scarring. But I'm going to actually add a mask to this layer. Make sure I still have black selected, and then I'm going to go up to just one of my regular rounded brushes, and then I'm going to set the opacity of my brush down to about 40-some%, and then I'm just going to kind of lightly go over the face to remove some of that texture. So now it kind of looks like, one of those standard fancy portraits, but at the same time, there's something very eerie and strange about it. Obviously, I'm a demon, kind of much like from Supernatural. But guys, that's pretty much going to do it for today's video. That's a very simple way to make a cool Facebook profile picture or even a portfolio collection for yourself for the Halloween season. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel for more content, and definitely be sure to check out our website at everydayphotographers.com.